countries in this continent. And let's get better.
All right. The leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party has degenerated into more confusion following an appeal court ruling on Thursday. Both Lamidi, Apapa, and Julius Abure, who are factional leaders of the party, are claiming to be the authentic chairman of the party. Julius, let me start from you. It was like something that's okay. He now saying that with time, with court rulings and everything, that they will resolve the leadership crisis within the Labour Party. Now, I think the Labour Party is on the path of self-destruction because the way it is, this might linger to the Supreme Court level. We have the election of Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo states, and we don't know, ultimately, at the end of the day, INEC will have to recognize within the faction, between Lamidi Apapa and the Abure faction. And this might be costly to the Labour Party, looking at their prospects in places like Imo states, that is very bright.
The law is the law. And if you are among those pushing for people's eyes to be on the judiciary, then you must also show respect to the judiciary. As we speak today, Abure has one problem. And the problem has to do with the restraining order made by a court in the FCT, stopping him from parading himself as the national chairman of the party. That restraining order came because of a criminal matter filed against him and others. He and others were accused of forgery, forging the party's stamp, logos, and all that, to be able to clear some aspirants in the party to be the standard bearers of the party in various elective positions, before the 2023 general election. Abure has not succeeded in setting aside that order. And they are behaving like the order does not exist. But the order exists. And until he is able to set aside that order, whatever action he takes, from my own layman's point of view, whatever action he takes will amount to a nullity. And he knows that. He needs to know that. Because I don't know the people advising them. You must set aside that order of the FCT court. Okay. From his words, Esan Otri in Edo State, when Shuaibu got up and claimed that he had suspended the Abure as national chairman. Of course, Abure went to court, and the court set aside his purported suspension. The matter was appealed by the same person who suspended him, and the Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the lower court that an individual has not got the power to suspend the party chairman. But that is a civil matter. The criminal matter is the elephant in the room. So I'm not surprised that that judgment came from the appeal court in Imo, because it simply set aside everything that Abure has done since that order of the FCT court was made. So what the Imo Court of Appeal has said is INEC should work with Lamidi Apapa. INEC should collect the list of the candidates for the off-season elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi from Lamidi Apapa. He is saying that it is Lamidi Apapa that, or Apapa, I don't even know the correct pronunciation. He said that is Lamidi Apapa's NWC that INEC should deal with for now. So they are playing with fire. At the rate they are going, they may not even have candidates for those elections. They are saying they want to win in all of those states, but you must do the right things. Get that order of the court in Abuja vacated. If you do not get it vacated, everything that you are doing will amount to a waste of time. So that is the real issue that Abure is facing at this time, and it's not complicated. It's not complicated. The same way he got the courts in Edo and the appeal court to set aside the suspension by a certain Shuaibu, he should get a superior court to set aside the order of the court in FCT, which stopped him from from parading himself as the chairman of the party until the criminal matter is dispensed with. It's just like the matter of Emefiele. Emefiele ran to court to stop the DSS from arresting him or prosecuting him on terrorism-related charges. The DSS has not been able to set aside that order because an Abuja court restrained the DSS. They've not been able to set aside that order. In fact, they could have, when they found an assault rifle in his house, they probably could have amended their charges and charged him for terrorism. But because that order subsists, the DSS could not charge him for terrorism despite finding the gun in his possession. You know? They couldn't charge him for terrorism-related offense because they've been stopped from doing that. So, Abure, for now, and let's not also forget, the cases, their candidates are losing in court on account of the time when Abure became chairman and all that. So a good number of them, what the opponents are pushing is that they have not stayed long enough to be described as bona fide members of the Labour Party. And they are losing from one court to another. Elumelu defeated their candidate. Faleke just won another case on the same legal principle that the people who conducted the primaries had not even been in the party long enough to be called party members. So who knows? Maybe that's what will happen in the presidential election petitions tribunal. Who knows?
Oduyemi just won of the All Progressive Congress, just won that seat there now. So they are waiting for the appellate court to rule. They will appeal and we don't get. Now, my problem is with the judiciary because Abure too also approached the courts. He's saying another federal high court in another state, and he also got his this thing, there. And while we have a court of coordinate jurisdiction saying, different things, and this is the situation, and you discover that even the presidential candidates of the party, they'll be going from this state to campaign, and they've been campaigning with Abure. And Abure has been the one giving the flag to the flag bearers in those states.
This is the season to again re-emphasize the fact that without internal democracy, we cannot have true democracy in the country. We've been saying this from the time we returned to democratic rule in 1999. There are rules, there are laws. All parties have them. Once you can't meet them, there is no point going all out. To the party, Abure might look like a strong man, but to the law, he's not.
Was the likes of Peter Obi that still patronizing him?
No. It's not a matter of patronage. It's the person that was recognized as the national chairman of the party at that point. So, but the question is, following from the analysis they did now, PQ did, is he qualified to be the chairman in the first instance, based on the rules of the party? You know, in some cases they get waivers. Parties do give waivers. If you want to, if you, for instance, you cross over from one party to another because you were cheated there, you couldn't get your position, you can get a waiver in another party. All those processes, did they go through it? If the Apapa faction is claiming, see, these people are not qualified, have they actually tackled the germane issues these people are bringing up? If they have not, then it's like wasting of time. And then you're also wasting the resources of those candidates who are campaigning now. Forget about those who have even done for the 2023 polls. They are wasting the resources because the court will still rule the same way. The law is the law. You can't run away from it. Let them go back. If they had settled internally, all these issues would not have been in the open. It wouldn't even have gone to the court. Yeah. Because nobody will come and say it. If a PDP claims this, it's just a matter of saying, see, we already had waivers, our party gives room for waivers, we've done this, we've done that. But for you to have somebody who is opposed to your leadership, and you are not able to settle internally, it's a problem. I think the spirit of unionism is what they have brought into party affairs. We must have our way by all means. Once we shout, we go on strike, we do this, government will listen to us. But this is different. It's a party affair.
Some element outside are you saying that, look, the ruling party, knowing that, look, the Labour Party, as formidable as they are, that they are trying to stoke this crisis and they're trying to destabilize their party at all costs. Well, it's the APC responsible, despite the fact that we don't have any clear evidence.
I'm not aware that officials of APC, picked up a gun and then
that the likes of Apapa and Co are masquerading, they are acting on behalf of APC to destabilize.
They will say that they will do for Labour Party. But for me, I see it differently. I see Labour Party taking a gun and shooting itself in the leg. Labour Party has not even realized that this is the best time that it should be having. This is the closest it has got to producing a president. Labour Party has never had it good at the national level. Labour Party has a number of lawmakers in the National Assembly. It has never had it so good. This is the time Labour Party is supposed to consolidate on its wings and position itself as a formidable opposition party. Labour Party is not learning from a party like PDP, which prided itself as the biggest political party in Africa. I remember in 2008, Vincent Ogbulafo, as the chairman of the PDP, boasted that the party will rule for 60 years. We know where PDP is now. PDP has been emasculated. PDP has beaten more than it can chew. PDP could not muster a formidable opposition to the APC. You understand? And PDP is where PDP is. Now, Labour Party is not even a ruling party yet. PDP was a ruling party when it lost ground. Labour Party is not a ruling party yet, and yet it's shooting itself in the foot and blaming people for its woes. You understand? And each camp is interpreting a court judgment the way it likes. They are not serious. I align with the thought that says they shouldn't even have gotten to the court. They are behaving like unionists. I agree with that line of thought. If that party is serious about really, taking over the country, then it should not be doing this. It's not a serious matter as far as I'm concerned. What Labour Party should, by now, Labour Party should be thinking of 4 years after Tinubu, how should be thinking of profiling solutions, alternatives to the policies of the current APC government. Labour Party you can't say they have not enjoyed some popularity. You understand? To gain traction and all of that. But now Labour Party is using its own hands to destroy itself. They can keep the blame game, can say APC, Lamidi Apapa, APC planted Lamidi Apapa. I've heard that before. And they keep saying that Labour Party has a penchant for blaming everybody but itself. But Labour Party brought its travails upon itself. And whatever it gets from this, you blame itself.
Today, this might affect the off-season election. And a lot of people are saying that, look, somebody like the leaders of the party, the founding fathers of the party, they should be able to come together and resolve this amicably so that it won't hurt the party more.
That's what Apapa said. He said he's ready for reconciliation. But I think they are putting all their eggs in one basket. They believe that Abure, they don't want to believe that Abure has been stopped by the courts. There are two different things people must understand. The case that he won twice on the bounce in Edo State is a civil matter. Somebody got up and said he suspended him, whereas it's against the constitution of their party for an individual to simply proclaim that he has suspended party chairman. And he went to court. He got judgment on that. The same person appealed. He defeated him at the level of the appeal. It is wrong to say, oh, he got different. These are different matters. The other one is a criminal matter. So it's not simply a case of courts contradicting themselves. No. This one has to do with his leadership of the party. They said they have suspended him. And the court said, no, you can't suspend the chairman. The other one, who was accused of forgery. We reported this thing. He was accused of forgery. Go and clear that one. Get that order vacated. As long as you've not been able to get that one vacated and the restraining order subsists, you are going nowhere. This is not an aluta kind of thing or something where you just simply abuse Babajide and other people. No. You must get that order vacated. If you can't get it vacated, other courts will point at the fact that there is an order of the court that says you should not parade yourself as chairman. And whatever you do, because you can't build something on nothing, if you do primaries, those primaries will be rendered a nullity. That's what the law says. The Electoral Act affirms that. So it's up to them how they want to handle their matter, but sometimes we should use our brain instead of yielding to our emotions. Because what is the big deal in having that order set aside? As long as you can't get that restraining order set aside, that criminal case, you are wasting your time.
Political parties, when you see them, after they managed the success of 2023, you look like a party like NNPP now. NNPP now, that house is divided against itself. The faction belonging to Boniface and Nebuna, another faction belonging to Abure Musa and Kwakwanso. They are suspending each other. Why is that? We can't just manage this thing just because you have one state. You have one Kano state. You did very well in Kano state. Your enclave. You just want to destroy that party after that time.
Well, even for those who are saying that APC is the cause of the crisis in Labour Party, I think in any game, just like football, your move is to weaken your opponent anyhow you can. It's left for your opponent to put his or her house in order. So if I know I need to fight a strong man, I'll look for the enemies in-house. Why are you allowing the enemies in-house? That's the issue. Why can't they bond together? Like it has happened also, like you pointed out, in the New Nigeria People's Party. You said you were going to win the presidential election. You got just over 1 million votes. And the bulk of the 1 million was from one state. And even the one state you can't manage again. Has become a problem. And then you come and say it's APC that is causing the problem. Yes, APC has a right to even cause the problem if they want to. But what is there to fight? What battle is there to pick against a party like NNPP that we all knew before the election was not going to go beyond Kano and possibly some showing in Jigawa? We knew it all along, that it was just boasting. So what is there to fight in a party like that? And that's the big issue. Parties must learn that internal democracy must reign. There must also be justice. At the heart of everything is justice. Does this man feel satisfied with the way he has been treated? Can we sit together and talk? See, there is a problem here. Two of you can't be chairmen. What are the things you have put in place to ensure that this man does not totally go against you? Once you can't resolve that.
Okay. And finally today, the controversy over